Hey, Specter team, Christoph here. I tested the release candidate for the new Specter here on locally on my computer and also in collaboration with an Umbrella. I only tested kind of the basic functionality. I did not go into creating a multi-sig with multiple devices, making transactions, but more kind of the basic setup and basic screens. So there were a few things, and I'm not sure if all of them are relevant to the changes in this particular release candidate. I'm just going to go through them any way, and you can see what you think. So one of the things that I saw was when I added a device, I picked my device, I can press the button Add Device here, and then it takes me back to the device selection screen and tells me the XPub's name must not be empty. And then I have to pick my device again to get back to this screen, and then I can fix what I did wrong. So my primary action here should probably be get via USB. That's the first thing that I need to do. So I would almost disable add device at that point, make it via USB blue. So it's more obvious what I should press. I was also wondering this error here, it stuck around when I navigated across multiple pages and it kind of becomes irrelevant. So I was wondering if on page navigation, this error could be cleared. Here with this wallet here, I was wondering if this button is necessary because there's only one key here. So it doesn't do anything right now. Do we need it? Here, I added this new wallet. Click here to refresh. This is kind of left aligned. It looks a bit off because it touches the edge. And I was wondering if it could just automatically refresh. Why do I need to refresh it basically? Then this here, I think I've mentioned it before, this does not obviously look like a button. I understand you use that style in another place where you have multiple of these big ones next to each other, but here it does not, I don't know, it looks like a visual, like here's a file, but then I would expect some type of button that looks more like this one to download it. Slip 132, I think I've also brought this up before. I'm not sure what that means. Like, okay, I'm not sure what slip 132 is, so it would be helpful to say like, oh, this is like, for example, and I don't know what this is. If it says this is an extra layer of encryption, then okay, I understand it's going to be better for security, for example. So otherwise, I'm not really sure what to do about this. Then continue and cancel, probably the same functions. If they are, you could probably remove cancel. Then here, when I'm selecting the USB wallet to create, I can actually select USB wallet, should this set USB device? And then I was wondering, could the device name here also be the name that I already gave this one? So it's, let's say I have multiple ledgers. I might not know which one is which here, although it's unlikely that I have them plugged in. And then I was also wondering if there's only one option here, why do I need to choose? Could this just be, does this modal need to exist basically? Here was a small thing. By default, 20 addresses are shown. Seems like that's the default gap limit, right? But then why do I need this page limit here of 50? Could this be hidden unless I actually have 50 or more, unless I actually need it? Then over here, I have 4 times the same error here. Shows you how I'm using the application. Just curious if it could just be the one. And here was a small thing. It's this formatting could be here fixed. I think once you go into 100 or so, it's okay. But it's just for the single and the double digits. And here, good job on this page. Personally, I found it a lot easier. I'd be curious to hear what other people say, but to me, this made a lot more sense. Also good to have this input field here, which in a previous version, I think it was a separate box. So it's much cleaner to have it in here. This also, the whole initial setup process. The first time I tried it locally, it worked great. But then the second time, I got stuck, and I'll talk about that in a second. And then here, connect over Tor. I wasn't sure I'm not sure what to do, what the socks thing is. I'm just not familiar with Tor, so I'm not sure what to do here. Then here, I tried this process here, kind of all made sense to me. I'm still wondering why you need this sidebar. Can you just hide it at this point altogether? So I can just focus on this. And here, I ended up at this screen after clicking through everything, and I ended up choosing use an existing node. And then I got presented with this, and I thought, okay, I want to use an existing node, so what do I do? Right? So I ended up going through here, and I made an error. I typed in something incorrect. And when I pressed test, so I put in the information, I pressed test, and then I got scrolled up, but the error that I needed to see is actually down here. So I was wondering why it scrolled me up. It could be just a JavaScript thing where some button click needs to return false to prevent the page from going back to the top. Could be something simple like that. Not sure, but it scrolled me up and I didn't see anything, so I had to scroll back down to see the error. It was slightly confusing. With the auto detect on, I was wondering if these username, password, host, if those could have a disabled state. So the text is not it's not as pure white, but dimmed a little bit. So I understand directly that okay, these fields are disabled at the moment. And then here was one thing. I tripped up on that just a little bit. So I put in the right information. I pressed test. I see test passed. It scrolled me back to the top. And then I was wondering, okay, the test passed, but core is still unavailable here. Did it work or did it not work? No. And what I did not realize, or it took me just a minute, was I need to press save. Because at this point, maybe it used these settings I entered to test the connection, but it hasn't saved them. So the whole system, the whole application hasn't switched over yet. But I was actually wondering if you even need that test, or like when the test is successful that it saves it automatically or something. It's a small thing, I figured it out, but since I tripped up on it a little bit, I thought I would bring it up. Yeah, and that's kind of it right now. If there's any specific functionality you would like me to test, let me know. Thanks.